I'm delighted that people see into the Buddy Bear School. We've been here for over 30 years, and people from all over helped in the early days to fund it by simple collections, street collections, football matches, anything. And we were able to help 20 children 36 years ago. And quite a few of those children are now able to walk, have businesses, a few have got married, and in all, most of them are very happy with the work they did here. Now, I got involved accidentally. I thought I was going to a meeting to get football tickets, and it turned out it was a meeting to help a child with cerebral palsy. But in Dungannon, we didn't really know a lot about cerebral palsy, so the chap that organised it simply said we wanted to get the child fixed. He couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, he couldn't hold anything, and he couldn't give his mother a hug. And it was an awful thought. And yet his eyes, when I was holding him and talking to him, followed me. So when I moved my hand, he looked at it, and I moved this hand, he looked at it. And I had been a special needs teacher and realized that his brain was linking the movements, but he could do nothing about it. So it worried me because he felt trapped by his own body. And I thought of my own children and what I would do if I had been like that. I'd have gone to anybody for help. We heard about a place in Budapest called the Peto Institute, and they trained teachers, special teachers called conductors. They were trained as ordinary teachers, plus they did physio and occupational therapy, and clearly a lot of psychological work, because they were building a bridge of hope over the difference between ability and disability. So they were saying, if you do what we asked you to do, you'll get there. So it's a leap of faith. And the first children we brought here, we decided then we'll take them to Budapest. And at that stage, we had 3 children, happy to take 3 children to Budapest. And we had a dinner one night in the hotel to celebrate that we were getting 3 children into the Peto Institute that had a waiting list of 2 years. At the function, there was 3 other men worked with me very closely. And at one stage, I had a child, holding the child, saying, this is great, I want to thank you. And then 2 of the other guys had 2 children each. The 4th one had 1 child. I thought there's something wrong here. Where are they coming from? And then a group of ladies from Derry came in and they said, we weren't asked to this, but we have children with cerebral palsy. And if they're going to Budapest, our children are going too. And it's very hard to argue with the Derry woman. So finally we said, we'll turn Dungannon into a triangle of hope. If you send over your ambassador, then he can say. So fair play, the ambassador came over, we collected him at the airport, brought him into Dungannon, talked to him, got him up onto the podium or the stage in the middle of the square, and then we had a machine that made sound amplification and called everybody to stand in for a photograph. And over 3,000 people form a human triangle. And the Hungarian said, yes, you can take the other 2 children. Unfortunately, the number had grown to 20 now. We were going to the Peto Institute the next day for an assessment. And there's a room like this, and there was 4 doors, tuned into 4 different offices. We took from one person at a time in to be assessed. And some one of us must have told the parents to sit behind in the room next door. And as soon as these four were brought in to be assessed, they take another four in the bright uniforms, children. And somehow we got all 20 assessed. And then at the end of the day, the people in charge really had a fit because they had now 20 children. And Dr. Harry came down, the director, and she said that wasn't nice to do that. I said, well, if I select the children, I'll get into trouble because I'll be taking only the ones that we know, and the others here, the children, what can we do? We have to get them, I have to take them in. But I said, I tell you what, if you look over there, RTE have sent a camera crew. You can explain to the Irish nation why you're not going to help these children. So she was not happy.